Merry meet and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch for a general reading for all signs. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Shirley and the lovely Liari, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Honeypaw. Thank you so much, moderators, and thank you to everybody for joining us today for this general reading for all signs. I'm reading with this Salvador Dali tarot, which is... the box is too big to get in one shot, but it's a fun deck. And I'm going to use this L'Occitane Verbena, or Vervain it's called. It's my favorite commercial Van. 3 sprays in this room is more than sufficient. You can find out information about purchasing these products in the video description of this video on my YouTube channel. And like I said, this is a general reading, and it's for all signs for today, the 25th of March 2023. And I'm going to shuffle for about 2 minutes. So if you're watching this on a restream, if you don't feel like watching me shuffle, there are timestamps, so you can move right to the reading. And it goes out to everybody, whether you're watching me live or on a restream, so it does end up going out to a lot of people. If it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, you can disregard it because it may not be meant for you. In that case, you might want to check out the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. And you can find the most recent streams right on my website at ariels-corner.com/zodiac. arielscorner with a hyphen.com/zodiac. I don't read with card reversals, so that's why you'll see me flipping cards right side up. It's my style of reading. All is well, I promise. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure that you follow us on Twitch. And you can watch on Twitch without any ads, at least our videos, if you subscribe to us on Twitch. And so that's kind of fun. I don't know if I said this. Yeah, I just said that. Okay, we do have a shop over at arielscornershop.com. Oh, this is going to be a great reading. arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of merchandise, including the tarot decks that I read with that are currently in print. That's an affiliate store, so that means that we get a small commission off of each and every sale. And we do appreciate your support, but mostly we just appreciate that you're here with us today. And that's why I am just going to finish this last couple shuffles to make sure it's randomized, because I want to give you the most accurate reading I possibly can. This should do it. Give this a nice clean cut and see what's in the cards for everybody today, the 25th of March 2023. All right. Starting with the Queen of Wands. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of Swords. And a Knight of Swords. Okay. Well, the worrywart is out today. And it seems like everybody's been sort of focused on, like nurturing their passions and doing their heart's desires and really getting into all of that. And it's interesting because when we do things like that, the ego likes to present us some alternatives to consider. So the ego loves opposites. So if you're thinking about all the wonderful things in your life, the ego says, well, and then there's this. Now, if you're thinking about your future, like with a lot of this with the Queen of Wands, is like what you want to create for yourself, what direction you want to take, especially in your work and your creativity. And that's been such a wonderful thing for so many people just to even consider, what their next step is. And so when you do that, the ego says, yeah, now, but then the future is probably not certain and there's a lot to worry about. And so then it tries to just distract you from orienting your course toward a certain direction by getting you worried about what could happen. And then that gets, and then what happens is when we start listening to that part of our mind and we start worrying, then we seek out for help from the wrong places. And so the kind of help that we're going to end up getting is the help we don't want. And that's what this Knight of Swords is all about. People kind of reiterating what the ego fears are that we are having. We start to attract to ourselves the people that validate those fears and kind of double down on them and take us away from what our original course was, which is our passion and the things that we want our life to look like. So it's really, really important to notice when this is happening so that you don't think that it's real. Because it's very easy for us to say, well, but it is real, because look, there are a lot of things to worry about. The earth is in a horrible mess, and the future is uncertain, and there are all kinds of awful things happening, and it's only getting worse, and I don't have time to worry about my passions. I don't have time to think about the things that make me happy, because we're all going down and right? Or whatever it happens to be, whatever your particular worries happen to be. So that's when the ego has us. And so then we band together with other people that are worried, or we find so-called experts that can sort of solidify the things that we're worried about. And that's exactly where the ego wants us, because the ego, that's that part of our mind that likes to self-destruct and create problems for ourselves. That's when the ego is feeling like it's accomplishing its desire, its goal, right? But the truth is that this is not real. You do not know what the future holds. Nobody does. I don't care what anybody says. Any psychic, any prophet, anything like that, they do not know. Now, yes, it's easy for us to make predictions based on the course that we're taking, and that's what I do with tarot cards. It's like, well, it looks like you're crossing the street right now and you're going at about this pace. So I can, quote, predict that you're going to get to the other side of the street in about this amount of time. But that's only if you don't decide to turn around and come back, or if you don't sit down in the middle of the street and hold a protest, or if you don't, all of a sudden grow wings and float away, or if you don't get hit by a car, or whatever. There are so many other variables that could happen. But yeah, based on what I see, I can predict a certain amount of things, but nobody knows what the future holds. So your best bet is, rather than being so afraid of your future, is to stick with the original plan that many of you have had. And that's, let's focus on what I do know. I do know what I love. I do know what I want to do. And let's just take the worst case scenario. Say everything is going to hell in a handbasket. Wouldn't you rather take the time that you have to do what you love, right? So worrying about the future is so disempowering. And it's exactly where the ego wants us, because that's how we get paralyzed, and we get stuck in these cycles where we find all of the information that we can to support our fears, and then that just reinforces the cycle. And so let's break that cycle today and get focusing back on what you love, and let the future take care of itself. When I'm going through that, I always use the word that works for you. If you like the word God, if you like the word universe, if you like the word infinite intelligence, but let's say God, just because that's a universal term that a lot of people understand. I place my future in the hands of God. I place my future in the hands of God. I am not in charge of my future. God is. And so I'm just going to take a hands-off approach and get back to doing what I want to do, and listening to my inner guidance, right? So 2, 4, 6, 7. So a lot of you have had a nice upgrade recently, or at least a good new direction in finances or other kinds of assets. So no wonder the ego is wanting to get you worried. That wants to pull you off of that, definitely. King of Wands. Okay, so this is telling you what you can do right now about those worries. Is take what you've been nurturing and own it. Own your talents. Own them. Say, well, you know what? No matter what I'm worried about, I know what I'm good at. I know what I love. I know what brings me joy. And that's what I'm focusing on today. That's all that I'm focusing on today. I'm going to give myself one whole day where I do what I want to do, or I think about what I want to think about. I'm going to let my mind be completely preoccupied with the things that I love, the things that bring me joy for 24 hours today. And I can come back to worrying if I want to tomorrow. But today, I'm thinking about what it is that I love. If that might be art, it might be plumbing, it might be anything that you love. And you're going to think about it, you're going to study it, you're going to practice it, you're going to do whatever it takes for you to immerse yourself in your talents, because that is why you're here, is those things, not these worries. And then this Three of Wands is saying then the most interesting thing happens when you do that is that you start to succeed. Things start happening, no matter, even in the midst of these worries, even in the midst of all of the chicken littles out there that are telling you that the sky is falling, that you start to succeed and things start to work out for you because you did what? Took charge of your mind. You took charge of the course that your ship was sailing on, rather than letting yourself be hijacked by pirates. And those pirates are those fear thoughts which go out and find people or attract people to reinforce them. And so instead of listening to those people or those websites or those articles or those news stories or whatever it is that you're kind of hooked into that are keeping you worried, you are then focusing on the things that you love because you've given yourself a break from this for a day. And then lo and behold, in spite of all of those worries, you start succeeding. Things start working out for you in beautiful, wonderful ways. And the thing about a 3 is that it's Saturn, so it's long lasting. It's not just a fly by night thing. So the more you can focus, and really, it takes some work. I mean, it's not easy to do what I'm saying necessarily, but it's worth the work. It's worth the effort, and you can do it. You have everything it takes to do it. And that is, I'm going to put my fears on hold today. I'm going to put my worries on hold. I can come back to them tomorrow if I want to, but I'm going to just disconnect from the news. I'm going to disconnect from all of the stuff that's causing me to worry just for 24 hours, and I'm really going to focus on the things that I love. And that's up to you what those things are. For most of you, it happens to be things that you love that are things that you can do, that are talents that you have, that maybe you've been trying to nurture, but then you've been putting them on hold because you've been so preoccupied with these worries. And you're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to really go for it now. I'm really going to go for what I love. Now, some of you, that's a business that you've been wanting to get going. You know, some of you it's art, some of you it's education, whatever it is, there's no one thing that it could possibly be. It's the thing that you love. It's the thing that you're predisposed to. The thing that, or maybe more than one thing that are your quote talents. And that, if you can really say, that's all I care about today, 24 hours, that's all I care about. And I'm going to let these things go. I'm going to place my future in the hands of infinite intelligence, and I'm going to focus on what I do best. And I'm going to give that my entire attention. Like I said, that can be a challenge, but you can do it, because then what you're going to notice is, as a result of doing that, success starts to occur. And then that's going to show you and prove to you that you have power over these fears and these worries, and that you have power in the world to make things happen. So the cards are saying, get busy. So good job. We will see you tomorrow for another general reading. Thank you so much to the amazing team, Shirley, Liari, and Honeypaw. We will see everybody tomorrow for another general reading. Blessed be.